Technically, you are world number one. I'm just curious, do you feel like you're the best player in the world right now?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I do. I'm playing well. I feel like consistency-wise, I've been as good as I have been ever in my career. I said at the end of last year, I feel like as complete of a player as I ever have. If you just look at my statistical categories, there's no real glaring weaknesses there, and I've worked really hard on that to try to become a more well-rounded player, and I think the results speak for themselves as well over the, not just the past 6 months, but really the past 18 months, post Ryder Cup, Whistling Straits. I feel like I've been on a really good run of form since then.
You were not originally going to be in the Netflix show. What changed? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I sort of took the attitude of, see how the first season works out, see if I like it, like the idea, feel comfortable letting cameras get into my life a little bit more. But I had a good chat with Chad in the summertime. Obviously, with everything that's going on in the world of golf, he just said, having my voice in there in some way could just add, a layer of context that wasn't there already. And I was, I made sure that the parameters were very much like you can film me. You're not coming to my house. You're not coming in my car. You're not coming anywhere near my family. But you want to do some stuff with me at golf tournaments, totally fine. So that's they were the ground rules that were sort of set, and here we are.
We're going to go in the back, Golf Digest, and then we're going to get the mic over here to Jason.
Rory, you said around this time last year, your goals are more like process-oriented, hit more fairways, your stats. Is that the same this year, or are you kind of changing your goals?
No, I don't think I need to fix what's working pretty well. Again, like I can sit here and say I want to win 6 times this year, and I want to win the Masters, and I want to win whatever. It's like, of course, like everyone wants to do that, but what helps me get to that point? So for me, there's certain areas in my game that I know if I can keep as strong and as sharp as possible, it'll help me achieve those goals. So like those goals are outcome goals, and that's great, but what do you have to put into to give yourself a chance at those outcomes, and that's the important thing.
And over here with Jason to the left.
Rory, coming off that victory a few weeks ago in Dubai, how much does that motivate you moving forward? How much does that kind of kickstart your year?
Yeah, it does. I think the manner in which I won, like I didn't have my best stuff all week in Dubai, but I was able to sort of piece it together and birdie the holes that I should birdie, and there were some good par saves in there, but I knew I needed to tidy some stuff up. So as soon as I got home to Florida last week, I got on the range and started to practice and work on some things, and feel like my game's in a better place now than it was basically like this time a week ago. So, but it's nice. It's nice to get that first start of the year out of the way, see where the areas are to improve, and I feel like I've done some good work over the past sort of 6 or 7 days, and as I said, feel a bit better because of it.
You mentioned that it was sort of an easy decision when you started talking about designated events to make this one of those for this year at least. Can you expand upon that process, and how much were you personally involved in it?
I think a lot of all of the players were involved in terms of making a list of what their favorite events are, and what makes sense to to designate or elevate or whatever they're calling them. So I think this tournament is a wonderful spectacle for the game of golf. I think to have hundreds of thousands of fans at this event, I mean, I think it was obvious that this was one that needed to have that status. I think if we were to have an event like this every single week, or even 5 or 10 events like this on the schedule. I think it might be a little bit too much, but I think to have a golf tournament where most of the fans here aren't here to watch the golf, right? It's a different environment, and that's totally fine if we're talking about growing the game. That's a way to do it.